Hi, I finished another arc, and it's one that comes out on the 7th of March, and it's called Martyr by Kaveh Akbar. I think that's the way you pronounce it. Now, this is one that, it was a novel that grew on me. In fact, I much preferred the second half, the latter part of the novel, to the first half. Our main character is Cyrus, and he's an Iranian-American poet. And he's also a recovering addict. He's toying with the idea of suicide. This is at the beginning when we meet him, is toying with the idea of suicide. He lost his mother when he was very, very young. The plane she was travelling on was bombed out of the skies by the US Navy. And his grieving father moved them away to a little town near Indiana, and he worked on a chicken farm for the rest of his life. As soon as he'd got Cyrus to university, then he died. It was almost as though he was waiting to bring the child make the child an adult before he could go and join his wife. He needed to keep strong while Cyrus was growing up, that type of thing. So Cyrus had all this grief that sort of consumed him, and the way he dulled it was by drugs and drink. So this is where he is at the beginning of the novel. He's toying with the idea of suicide, but he wants his life and his death to have meaning. So he decides that he's going to write a book about martyrs and explore deaths of other people whose deaths might have been overlooked. For instance, his mother, her death was classed as an accident along with everybody else on the plane. And he looks at other deaths as well. And it's as he's looking at all these things that he hears about an Iranian-American artist, Orkideh, who is dying of cancer and has decided to make her death an art installation. She set herself up in a museum. She's living in this museum so that her remaining time is spent there, and people can visit her and talk to her about death. Her death is going to be part of the museum, if you see what I mean. It is an exhibition called Death Speak, and it's this part of the book that I really enjoyed. The first half didn't really do anything for me, but it's only when Cyrus meets Orkideh and their conversations that I actually began to see this young man, that I began to have empathy with him. Before, I didn't really. He was leaving me a little bit cold, but it was only once he got into conversation with Orkideh that I began to see him, which is why, for me, the first half of the book didn't really do anything. But as soon as he entered the museum, then I engaged with it a lot more. The first half seemed to be multiple points of view, extracts from this book of martyrs that he wrote. Dreams, very non-linear in structure, and everything that in that first half, it almost conspired to make me not have any empathy for him. But as soon as he walked through the museum doors and met Orkideh, then the whole book changed for me, and I began to connect with him. So I'd love to know what you make of it. For me, I would say, work your way through the first half to get to the second. But maybe that was just me. Maybe he didn't engage with me in the same way that he should have done. But, you know, I'm being honest here. You know, I'm not going to... It's just what I felt. So, comes out on the 7th of March. Yes, 7th of March. On Martyr. So, happy reading. Take care.